here in town. I'm the hearing officer today for the red light hearings. You've chosen to appeal.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. You've chosen to appeal the notice of violation that you received and have a hearing today. If I find in your favor, then there's no further obligation after we have your hearing. If I find that there was a violation, then you'll be subject to a statutory fine of $158 along with an administrative fee. The administrative fee can be as much as $250, but typically the city, we limit the administrative fee to $100, and you'll have 30 days to pay. The types of violations that that happen are either a straight through on a red light, a left turn on a red light, or a right turn on a red light. The straight through and the left turn, I'll be honest with you, I really don't have any discretion under the statute. I look at the video and the photograph, see where the position of the vehicle was in relation to the stop bar, and typically that is the end of the decision-making process when it comes to straight through a left turn. It's really just the vehicle's position in relation to the stop bar. On right-hand turns, if you're contesting a red light violation you received on a right-hand turn, I do have some discretion, and on those I'm determining whether I think you or the driver of the vehicle were reasonably careful and prudent under the circumstances. And on a right-hand turn, when I make that decision, I'm looking at things like approach speed, weather conditions, time of day, traffic conditions, pedestrians in the intersection, things like that. And I'll consider all those things in making a determination of whether I think there's a violation or not. The way the hearing will go is in a moment you'll all be sworn in, and then we'll call each case in alphabetical order. When your case is called, if you'd come up to the chair with the monitor over here to your left, my right, you can come over and sit down, and once you do that, the officers will present any evidence the city has, usually consisting of video or videos of the alleged infraction, any photographs, any other information they want me to have. Then it'll switch to you. You can testify to anything you want me to know. If you have any documents or other evidence you want to present, you're welcome to do that. And then after everybody's presented anything they want to present, I'll give a ruling on your particular hearing. So with that being said, before we swear everybody in, and based on my explanation of straight throughs, left turns, and right-hand turns, and my lack of discretion on straight throughs and left-hand turns, does anybody else want to reconsider taking summary disposition? Kind of a last chance here. If anyone does want to take summary disposition, again, you still have to pay the $158 fine. The difference is the administrative fee is only $12.50, and you get 60 days to pay instead of 30 days to pay. So kind of with that being said, does anybody else want to take summary disposition and not go forward with their hearing?
Yeah, I'm not contesting after looking at the video.
If you want to come talk to...
My question was about the letter.
Sure.
The car is in my wife's name. I'm driving. When I requested a hearing, I put my name on the form. I signed it. But they're saying it's a no-show for her. She can't be here. She's at work.
Sure, but you're not contesting the violation anyway?
I think he wanted to take summary disposition, and he couldn't sign on behalf of his wife, so we can treat that as a summary still.
Okay.
But we just have to.
He just can't sign for it, but we can still take it
Right,
as a summary
we
disposition?
can hear it as a summary, you can treat it as a summary
Sure.
disposition.
Okay, so we'll adjudicate it as a summary disposition. You just won't need to sign anything, and you'll get the
Right.
paper, you'll get the notice in the mail, providing you the amount you have to pay and the 60 days within which you have to pay it. Okay, so you're good. All right, do we know who that is, by the way? I'm
you
sorry.
come up
I'm
here?
sorry, you should still come up, you just won't be able to sign. I'm sorry.
So we're doing a name, so is he filling out for a name change? Is that what
No, he's just gonna take a summary, I'm deciding that he's taking summary disposition.
When the hearing officer at the end of the hearing goes through all the ones that have taken summary, he'll be included in that.
He just
The
won't
violation
sign
will be included.
anything.
He does not sign, he doesn't need to
Okay.
sign anything.
Sir, what's your name?
Joel,
It's listed under
Pamela?
Got it,
all the way at the bottom on third.
got it.
What's the name?
Pamela Wright, the last one?
Oh, okay.
Ma'am, are you doing the summary disposition?
Yes, I was.
What was your last name?
Harris Wallace, Susan Turner.
Yep.
Got it.
Okay, so then you'll have 60 days from today to pay it.
Okay.
Okay, all right,
Thank you, sir, have a good day.
Just give me 1 second, ma'am.
The person I didn't see check in was Trey. Trey was in here, no?
Folks, just 1 second, let her finish up with her summary, and then we'll call the first one.
Yeah, are you doing the extension, the summary?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your name?
Carazala, C-A-R-R, it's very long, 10 letters.
In the meantime, since the rest of you are wanting to present your case, I will go ahead and swear everybody in at this time, including our officers. If you could stand and raise your right hand.
So it's gonna add $12.50 to
Do you
the ticket, and you'll have 60 days from today to pay it, okay?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Carzales Lizette is taking summary.
Gotcha.
Thank you, and I'll keep this. You'll get a new notice in the mail. Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think that would probably go that way, yeah.
Okay. Officers, you want to call the first one?
Is that Juan?
Is Juan Barrios. And the citation number is 1242 1001 82333.
I believe that was
Yeah, I wrote that down as a summary. Is that
We
right?
just need to take the folks that are here that haven't.
Yes, that was the summary.
Okay.
Well, he was here, I thought.
Well, these
He
are.
came up and took summary, right?
Yes.
Yes. The first one on my list that's not a summary disposition is Letzinger. That's the first one I have. That's not dismissed or summary. Is that one good with you guys?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
And if you just give, officer, if you just give the name and last 5 digits of the violation number so you don't have to read the entire number. And it expedites things.
Sir, you Jason
Yes,
Letzinger?
Letzinger.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And the last 5 is 81350.
Letzinger, for the record.
Speaking to the mic.
Yes, please.
Jason?
That, you got this pulled up? Okay, basically the first picture we have here shows the date and the time, 9/3 at 12:04. Posted speed is 40, and he's going 47 miles an hour. The amber light has been yellow for 4.5. The red was red for 1.5. And photograph number 1 shows his vehicle is behind the stop bar there. And if you go to photo number 2, that just shows the vehicle proceeding northbound there through the intersection. And photograph number 3 confirms the tag is Juliet Lima Echo Tango Sierra on the red Toyota. And then if you want to pull up the video, you can see the light turns red and stop right there. The light turns red and he's very, very clearly behind the red stop bar. And according to the times on the still, there's almost 6 seconds there between the yellows and the reds.
Will you play it one more time, just kind of straight through without stopping it,
Yes, sir.
please? Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Morning.
Morning.
Your turn. Yes, sir.
My turn. What I'm contesting is the signage. There, I have the state law, the 21455.5 states that for state laws that there has to be a red light sign that indicates that there is the photo enforced red light, and I have 2 pictures. There is a sign there now, but I have a picture when there was not a sign the sign there. Because I went there after my ticket and took.
You want to bring them up? Sure.
And then I drive to Lakeland 2 to 3 times a week.
Did you take the pictures?
Yes, sir.
What's in terms of time-wise, like where is,
This would've
in
been-
relation to your ticket, like,
My ticket was in September. This was a couple weeks after. I wasn't
Okay.
I wasn't able to get a hold of the city to find out when the work order took place to install the sign, but I do have the picture of the intersection with and without the sign. Jammed on the brakes in the middle of the intersection. This wasn't great.
now, I'm not necessarily contesting anything. I'm gonna assume that the photos haven't been doctored or anything like that they're legitimate. The question I have, it looks like, I'm just trying to use something for reference, yeah.
Okay.
See, I see that, so I see 2 palm trees. You see those?
Right.
and then I see this smaller tree here, one that should, and your sign is kind of in, you agree with me, it's kind of in front of and a little bit to the right of that tree?
Just a little bit, yes.
Okay. Now, that same tree here is right on the right edge, and it's cut off where that's, do you agree with me, it's cut off where that sign would be?
I agree with that part. However, you can see where as this is zoomed in. Look how much closer the palm trees is. This is a zoomed
Okay.
in picture. And
Meaning if the
obviously
sign
you
was up,
you
it
would
would
see
show?
the sign. You would see the sign because
Okay.
if you see where it's going through the tree, you would see the sign right.
Okay. Are these evidence for me to keep?
Yes. Sir.
Okay.
Yes. Sir.
All right.
Pictures in my phone.
Okay, you can go back to your seat and tell me anything else. So your contention is no sign was up.
When
Well, let me hang on. Let me ask you this: Do you know whether there was a sign up the day that your violation occurred?
I know that there was not a sign up the day of my violation.
Okay, you
Yes,
you
sir.
have a specific recollection. I know your picture wasn't taken that day, but you have a specific recollection.
Oh yes, that's why I went back and took the picture.
Okay, and meaning you would not have run the red light if the sign was up.
Meaning that I would have been let know that it was there. I would have maybe noticed it and thought about it. I mean, obviously you saw me going through the red light.
Okay, I mean
I'm more contesting the law and the statute the way it reads towards the
Understood.
red light violation.
I'm-
Yes, sir.
You,
I mean, you
I'm
can-
not a law enforcement
Yes, sir.
officer. I don't issue tickets, but you agree with me that the decision or the violation of a red light, whether you run a light or a traffic signal, that applies whether or not there is a sign up, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. I'll let you explain anything else you want in a minute. I do have a question for the city. The officers, do you know anything about what he says about the sign, that it was added after the fact? This is what? This is 92 and South Florida, or in Florida? Is that the intersection?
Yes.
I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah.
I remember the exact number of the road.
Okay.
I believe so.
Officers, do you know, one, is there any truth to this, and does it matter?
No, and I mean, I'm not sure what the statute reads, but it doesn't matter. But I know that it's inspected by the red light camera company, and they replace it, and they work on that. The city doesn't have a work order.
But how about the sign? Who's responsible for the sign itself?
They are.
Oh, I see, the company that handles red light administration for the city, they actually place the signs, not city parks and.
Correct.
I see, not public
That would
works.
explain why I couldn't find the work order for the city to do it.
Does the city have a position, because quite frankly, I'm not sure of the rules on signage. This isn't something we've dealt with before. Does the city have a position, and they may want to bring the attorney counsel in for this, but does the city have a position on signage, whether it's required under the statute and whether that affects whether a red light violation took place?
Under 316-0083, I don't see that requirement, so I don't know if they're referencing some other statute that I'm not aware of, but it's not contained in the
Okay,
Mark Law.
he rattled off a bunch of numbers at one point.
Read it.
What did you
It's
say?
VCS, I think, 21455.5.
I don't know, that's not a statute.
Yeah, that's not a state.
It's a state law. That's the only thing I could find.
What were the letters you gave me before the numbers? What were the letters?
Victor, Charlie, Sierra?
Okay, VCS, you don't know what VCS stands for?
No, sir.
Okay, I see. Do you have some reason to believe that's Florida state law? Like is this just kind of your internet research
That
or?
was what I looked
Okay.
up, yes, sir.
Got it.
And I was reading through the law before here, but I couldn't get everything put together.
Okay. You don't know of a citation to Florida statutory law that states that or that mandates the sign requirement, do you?
Not more than what.
Other than what
I
you've,
read.
okay.
Yes, sir.
It's not contained in the Mark Lundell on this particular statute.
In chapter 316, which is the red light.
316-0083, yeah.
Okay. As far as what you saw in the video, you don't contest that it's your vehicle you were driving and that you were behind the stop bar when the light turned red, correct? Okay. Anything else you want to tell me?
Other than, like I said, everything I read said that the Florida state law with red light cameras, that the sign must be posted in order to enforce the law. That's everything I read.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
City, anything else? Okay. I believe what you said. I take your pictures at face value and have no reason to dispute the accuracy or the timing that you told me about, or that there necessarily wasn't a sign at that intersection at the time you took the photograph. But I don't have any citation to the applicable statute that provides the Florida's red light camera procedure that mandates that signage. And so even assuming for the moment, and for sake of this hearing, that there was no sign on the date that you took this picture and on the date that the violation occurred, I'm going to have to find that there was a violation, that there's and I'm going to impose a $158 fine, a $100 administrative fee, and 30 days to pay. And if you have reason to believe that legally that's incorrect, or that there is a state law that mandates the sign to be up and therefore invalidates the red light violation as a result of no signage, then you certainly have the right to appeal and to go to Bartow and Circuit Court in Bartow in order to appeal the violation. Okay?
Okay, so I understand correctly. You said you don't know that law either, if it mandates that, and I don't know that either. Actually, I take it back. The only time I ever saw somebody get through a red light ticket when they ran the red light was because there was not a sign, and that just happened to somebody that I knew, and that's the only case I've ever heard of or seen that happen. And that's what they said. They said there's no sign there. State law says this, and they said okay, and they threw it out. And that's
understood. And if there was some kind of precedential authority you wanted to bring to me where a court had actually made that decision based on the citation you provided, then certainly I would consider it. I don't have any kind of case law or decisional authority that says that. The statute, the law you cited does not appear to be a statute, a Florida statute, or in particular the statute that provides for Florida's red light procedure, and so I don't see any legal authority that mandates that I dismiss your violation as a result of your argument. I appreciate your argument, and again, if you believe I'm incorrect, you certainly have the right to go to Circuit Court in Bartow if you decide to do that, okay?
if I want to continue. If I do find it, then I'm going to have to take my time and money and go to Bartow because of this.
I can't give any advice on what time or money it would take, but you would have to, that would be the place you would need to go if you wanted to pursue it. That's correct.
It seems to me like if I can't provide the legal precedent and you can't provide the legal precedent, then there's nothing saying that there is or is not a legal precedent. So how can you make an accurate ruling on that?
I am going to rely in part on the city attorney's representation to me that her review of the applicable statute does not reference any sign requirement.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Sir, thank you very much for your time and your argument and the evidence you presented.
Thank
Okay? Have a good day. You'll get something in the mail.
All right, so I don't need to go see
No, sir.
anybody?
No, sir.
Your computer, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Next case?
Is that Marrero?
Yes, Marrero, the last five is 97281.
Marrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, good morning.
And she's basically got a case of transferring from, it was a company vehicle that was transferred to her. And
Okay.
she's claiming that it was not her driving, there's another employee, so basically it needs to be transferred back to the
Okay.
business. And I guess she needs to speak to Ms. Sirianni about that.
Well, let's, before we even get to the video then, let's kind of, that, to me, that's kind of a threshold issue. So, good morning. Are you Ms. Marrero?
Yes. Good.
Okay. So before I see your photo or video, explain to me what happened regarding any transfer of liability.
Okay, I work for this company, is doing delivery, and always he texts me for the address to go to the places. But that day, I stay in the warehouse, and the only delivery that I have, it was in the afternoon. I have the proof. And second, that van, all that van in the company is not only I use only one, is everybody sometimes use it.
Okay. Okay, so let me kind of understand that a little bit better. So the van that is in the photo, is that what we're seeing right now, officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that van is not owned by you, correct?
Yes.
It is owned by the company?
It's through the company.
And what is the name of the company? I didn't understand.
It's
It's okay, take a second.
Is New Begin Resort.
New Beginnings? Mm-hmm. And then what?
Resort.
Resource? Mm-hmm. New Beginnings Resource, okay. Do you work for them?
I was.
You did work there? Okay. When did this happen?
And September 24.
September 24th was the violation? Okay. Okay, so that day, and what time is the violation?
8:12 in the morning.
8:12 a.m., okay. Okay, so this violation was issued to New Beginnings, I suppose, because they're the owner of the vehicle, and then they transferred, they signed an affidavit transferring liability and saying you were driving, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At the time, you were working for New Beginnings?
Yes.
But you did not work that entire day?
No, I was in the morning in the warehouse prepare the pantry for delivery to Humana and to the places.
Okay,
My first delivery was at 7 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, I'm sorry.
okay. 2:07 in the
Yes.
afternoon? Okay. You have some kind of paper that confirms that? Could I see it?
Yes.
What was your typical workday when you worked at New Beginnings? What would you typically work?
It's like this, doing delivery. This is the 23, for show you how he's worked with us, with deliveries. And-
Pastor Ayala, is that your boss?
Yes,
Okay,
and the next.
sure.
This one is the 23, and this one is the day I only have one delivery, was the afternoon. In the day I
Okay.
was in the warehouse preparing another bands.
Okay, so the only deliveries you would have made would be reflected in this series of
Yes.
texts that you have here?
Yes,
Okay.
because always like this.
Okay.
The days that I have.
Is Pastor Ayala the person that would have signed the affidavit transferring liability to you? Did you talk to him about it when you got the violation?
No, because, this is, I received it through mail,
Would have been
and I
transferred.
was like, I don't understand.
Okay.
But I called to make sure, how is the process?
Called who?
Because, the ticket.
The city?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And then I asked how he can put my name in,
sure.
in the ticket for me to receive it in my home.
Okay,
Because I never signed nothing like that. But, she told me it wasn't the company to throw it on me.
okay,
And I was like, I checked my phone to see.
sure.
And when I see they only I have this delivery. That's why I was like, it's not fair.
Okay,
And then, and at that time, I was working and he knows. He don't tell me nothing before.
Okay.
To me to pay at this time, what I have to speak to him about this. I don't want nothing to be like,
when did you stop working there?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. And you have not spoken to him about this, about the ticket and the transfer? Okay. Okay, you can take this with you and go back to your seat for a second. Officers, can you show me the video, please?
Yes, sir. We have a copy of the affidavit that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too. That'd be great. Thank you.
We'll start off with the images, obviously, of the van that you saw. And then we'll go to the video. So there's the van.
Okay. And ma'am, that's the van that you would drive from time to time when you worked for New Beginnings, correct?
Sometimes,
But
but the majority is that one.
Okay.
Number 5.
do they have multiple vans?
Yes,
I see.
6.
You can tell that that's a van that you drove sometimes? Like, how can you tell that? What about it tells you that?
Because they in the back is number 5.
Oh, a number. Okay,
It's
got
for
it.
numbers.
Got it. Okay, and so obviously there's nothing in the video or photograph that identifies a driver. We can't see any, it's not one of
Not at
those
all,
where you
no.
can
No,
see
sir.
any indication. Okay. Okay, can I see the transfer affidavit?
Yes.
Yes, sir. That was under
Can you
evidence.
pull it up there? You want me to just bring it? Yeah, you got it there. Okay.
So obviously, there's the declaration affidavit. This is a company vehicle.
Can you zoom a little bit? I'm sorry, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
I'm definitely not computer savvy, but I believe that I could probably hit this button right here. Well,
If not, it's no big deal. I can,
Hit the plus there,
Went
right
a
above
little.
where it says City of Lakeland.
yeah, right there. There you go. Perfect. Company vehicle.
so obviously he has to sign this. Date that it was created was 10/19/2021.
So the person that's, oh, okay.
Yes, sir. As we're going along, gives the, has been sworn, thereby deposed. So Francisco,
Ayala, that's Pastor Ayala on those documents you show me? Okay.
and then obviously it notes the violation number, and it names this young lady as the driver, everything,
Okay.
and that's why she got it. And obviously, they don't know the driver's license number, so we got it. And it continues on reading,
Okay.
and then he signs it.
And that's all the evidence we have other than the video and this transfer liability? There's no other documents, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, you're under oath. You've been sworn in to tell the truth. You know that, right, Ms. Moreira?
Yes.
Okay. You were not driving the vehicle that morning?
No,
Okay. And you've confirmed it or refreshed your recollection by reviewing those printouts of text messages you showed me. And so that's how you're able to confirm in your mind that you would not have driven that morning?
yes, because I received the letter like December 5 or 2. It was
Okay.
a long time. I have to go back because I always have like the light specifically. I have to be careful because I have food, so many pallets, milk inside. I press the brake like really hard. All that is coming to my back.
Sure.
I have to be precaution in that
Understood.
area. That's why it was like, it's so weird because I have that in mind all the time.
Okay. Meaning your point, if I understand you correctly, if you had a close call at a red light, you would have specifically remembered it because of the danger, because of the risk of the product moving in the van if you have to slam on brakes? Is that what you mean?
That's why I always, precaution, because I go like, can I stop? And I don't have that effect
Okay.
on top of me. I always count in that because it's really dangerous. One time when I was driving and to go to Bartow, I take the street, it was like this,
Yes.
down, and all the milk, it wasn't,
forward.
it was horrible.
I understand. You don't have any knowledge of who would have been driving it that morning, do you?
No, because so many, it's like 4 people.
Okay. If I decide to dismiss it because I believe she has, testified competently, disputing the transfer of liability, can the city reissue it to the party that transferred liability, or does it end at that point?
I believe you can transfer it back to the
Can be transferred.
vehicle owner.
Okay,
And then it's incumbent upon them to either pay the bill themselves or
Because in
positively
my mind, I
identify.
mean, I find her testimony to be credible and backed up based on documents she's shown me. And so I believe she's met her burden of showing that she was not driving at the time. And because that's the only grounds for her to be liable for the violation to attach to her, I think it should be, my decision is going to be to dismiss it as to Ms. Marrero. And to the extent the city can reissue it to the owner of the vehicle, which would have been the entity that received it in the first place, I think it should be reissued to the vehicle owner. And if they want to transfer it to somebody else or to come in here and explain themselves, they're more than welcome to do that at a later date. Okay? Ma'am, any questions?
No.
Okay, it's dismissed. Thank you for your time, and that's it for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Next case.
The next one, the last name is Quarry, and the last 5 digits is 07239. And it's a straight-through case.
You said Corey?
Quarry, yes, sir.
Query, sorry.
Quary.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Are you Miss Query?
I am.
Okay.
Got it. Oh, boy.
What was it? 124210020.
It's
7239 is the
72.
last four.
7239.
There you go. Pull up the stills first, yeah. There you go. Okay. Citation was issued on the 6th of October, 2:02 in the afternoon. His posted speed is 40 and she was traveling 23. The yellow light was yellow for 4.5 seconds. The red was red for 1.2 seconds. The photograph here shows her vehicle behind the stop bar. And photograph number 2 clearly shows her going through the intersection. And the tag matches the registration and it comes back to Ms. Query. And then we'll go to the video. And we'll stop the video once the light turns red and shows her behind the stop bar. Mhm. And this is her vehicle coming, her vehicle's gonna be right there just to the right of that black Tahoe, it appears to be in the picture as well. And there's red.
Okay, thanks. Anything else?
Basically, just in kind of in a situation like that in the past, it's, the argument has been that people cannot see the red light, and it's just,
Because the trailer of the semi?
the city's stand, and also the state's stance is that, if they can't see that light, then it's incumbent upon them to, back off the tractor trailer to see, to safely pass, and, or if it's safe to, occupy another lane of travel, that's also an option as well. So there's nothing else to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Query, good morning.
Good morning.
Is that your vehicle?
It is my vehicle.
Were you driving?
I was driving.
Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way. Go ahead. What have you got for me?
I just want to go on record, I could not see. It's a busy intersection. It was not safe for me to back up or change. And I simply could not see from where I sat. I remember this day and I said, oh my God, I'm going to get a ticket. But I simply could not see. And I want to go on record saying I couldn't see from where I sat.
I mean, the thing about this that makes it a little bit different than the ones we normally see about this, you are traveling at like what I'll call a safe speed. I mean, you're not speeding. Of course, that says to me, well, would you have, because you weren't traveling fast, should you have had time to stop? But you heard what I said about straight throughs, right?
I did, but I couldn't see, sir. And it's worth $100 for me to come here and tell you the truth. And I just want to go on record, I could not see.
And let me make sure I understand. You have a specific recollection, not just seeing the video, like you remember this happening the day it happened when you were behind the wheel.
I remember that day, I could not, I said, oh my God, I'm stuck. I cannot, I couldn't see. I couldn't. And that's the only thing I have to say.
Okay. Anything else?
Not a thing.
Okay. Officers, anything else on this one?
No, sir.
Okay. So like I said, this is a tough one because you're not speeding. Like I told you, I don't have any discretion on a straight through on the fine, and I think there is a violation. So I'm going to find a violation. I am going to impose the $158. I will, because this is an unusual circumstance. I do agree the semi is there. I don't agree with you that you couldn't have stopped necessarily, but the reason I say that is because you were driving a safe speed.
I didn't say I couldn't stop.
Okay.
I said I couldn't back up or move to the side. Someone
Okay.
said I should have backed up or moved to the side. I couldn't do that. It was not safe to back up, and it was not safe to move to the side.
But okay, well, let me understand it. Do you think you could have just come to a stop at the stop bar then?
No.
Okay, all right,
No, because of the speed that I was traveling. As you progress, no, I couldn't have. I had to proceed forward because of the traffic in back of me. I would have just been right in the middle of the intersection.
okay. All right, I'm still going to find the violation. I believe and accept your testimony as credible. I'm going to, under this unusual circumstance and because you were traveling substantially below the speed limit, I will waive the administrative fee in this case, and you'll have 30 days to pay, okay? So the only fine will be the statutory fine of $158. I will not impose, and I will waive the administrative fee, okay?
I thank you, and I would suggest that this be reviewed because a lot of people are in my situation saying they can't see.
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
They simply can't see. We've got a lot of trucks in Lakeland now, 18-wheelers.
Understood. I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate your time, and you'll get something in the mail regarding the fine and the 30 days to pay, okay?
Thank you.
Anything else?
Not a thing.
All right, have a great day. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Next case?
Michael Umstead, last 53375.
Was Racine a summary disposition? Or are they not here? Racine's just one that's not here? Okay,
They didn't
gotcha.
check in. They didn't check in.
Yep.
What was the number? What was the name?
What about
Michael
Treewood?
Umstead,
I think I heard them say earlier
53375.
that person did not show up.
Correct.
Thank you.
What is the last name? Olmsted?
Umstead?
Umstead?
Oh, Umstead.
UM.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
You. Mr. Umstead? Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Homestead.
This is a straight-through citation. It's issued at the intersection of North Florida and Memorial on 7/27 of 21 at 6:58 p.m. Posted speed limit is 40. He's traveling 50 miles per hour, which is 10 over the posted speed. The yellow light was yellow for 4.5 seconds. The red was red for 1.3 seconds. And this photograph depicts his vehicle on the south side of the stop bar and prior to the stop bar. The second one shows him proceeding through on the red light. And this confirms the tag was registered to him and his vehicle at that time of the citation was issued. And roll the video and we'll stop that motion showing him on the this side of the stop bar prior to red, right there. He's almost not even in the picture. I believe that's just the front of his car showing into the picture right there in the bottom left when the light's red, yeah. Camera reports 10 over the speed limit, and you can see he's on his brake there. So I would almost be inclined to say that he was traveling in excess more than 10 because he's on the brakes going through the intersection where it clocks his speed at 10 over.
Okay, anything else?
That's it, sir.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Umstead. Your turn.
Okay, well, thank you for this time.
Sure.
And I'm here to go ahead and I want to cross-examine the people who are alleging this violation. So I received the notice of violation in my name, and it said I did unlawfully, or alleges I unlawfully failure to comply with a steady red signal. So my question to the city of Lakeland is, other than what they've shared right now, do they have any other evidence?
You're welcome to ask them questions,
Do you
and
have
they
any
can
more
respond. I did ask them if they had anything else, and they said no, but
Okay.
but they can go ahead and answer.
Okay. I would like to ask, did these two gentlemen, police officers, see who the driver was?
No, sir.
No.
Therefore, I would like to have this case, or them either drop it or be dismissed based on the fact that there was no violation, because the actual statute says, the one that says 316.0741 says the driver shall obey. So since there is no identification of a driver,
I'm not certain of the exact statute number that the city attorney quoted earlier. But the cite-
316.0083.
Okay, the citation is actually issued to the registered owner of the vehicle, and that's when the notice is sent out. And then it becomes incumbent upon the registered owner, if they were not driving, it becomes their responsibility to shift the liability or transfer liability to somebody else. If they don't transfer that liability, I'm going to say that that's an admission that they were driving their vehicle at the time the infraction occurred.
Well, my suspicion is he's reading from the normal traffic signal statute, the moving violation that requires an officer to,
Correct.
to issue the a moving
To the
violation.
actual driver, once a police officer makes a stop, and that's probably accurate.
Correct. Sir, is that your car?
that is my car, yes, sir.
Were you driving?
No, sir.
Okay. Who was driving?
I have no idea, sir.
Okay. Do you know who you allowed to drive your car on the day in question?
I live in Hernando County. This violation, it appears to be July 27th, and no.
Okay.
I don't have a logbook because it's not a commercial vehicle.
Sure. And you did not, after you received the notice of violation, you didn't sign a transfer of liability, transferring the liability to anybody else, correct?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. And I assume that's because you didn't know who was driving it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you had known, would you have signed a transfer of liability?
Yes, sir.
Vehicle rented out to anybody, or had it been reported stolen at any time?
It was not being rented out, it's not a commercial vehicle, and it was not stolen at the time.
Well, I think his point is, as far as you know, it wasn't out of your control in terms of someone driving it without your authority or permission or anything like that. Is that right, or is that a possibility?
It's a possibility.
Okay. You did not report it stolen, though?
No, I did not.
Okay, anything else you have for me?
No, sir.
And did you have any more questions for the officers? I'm not cutting off your right to cross-examine.
Just for whatever it's worth, that's why I showed up today, to exercise my due process.
Understood. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Okay.
If he has any evidence that can prove that he was not the driver, I mean, it would be kind of compelling on him to provide that as well.
You've testified to it outside of that, and you did not sign a transfer liability. There's no other evidence you have for me today other than your testimony, correct?
Well, I would like to kind of counter what he's saying. The burden's not on me to prove my innocence, it's on you guys to prove guilt. In this case, you do not have a picture
It's not a
or anything of a driver.
It's not a criminal matter, but the burden is to.
I understand.
One at a time, one at a time.
Well, I understand, just for the sake of what the actual statute says, and I'll read it again, 316.0741, it says driver, does not say registered owner shall obey the restrictions. If the registered owner is not in the vehicle, you can't hold that person accountable for violation of the statute.
Let me explain a little bit.
Okay, so, sir, may I add as evidence, if I can? This is what I received in the mail, and what I received in the mail was Michael Wilson Umstead did unlawfully, there's the allegation, failure to comply with steady red signal, and it's in violation of 316.0741. And if that, you read that exact statute that they're alleging a violation of, it says the driver. And for whatever it's worth, sir, I'm just here to state my case. I mean,
Understood.
and that's all. I mean, that's all I have. Yes, sir.
My understanding of the statute and my read of the statute is that liability is associated with the ownership of the vehicle, and that means specifically how the vehicle is registered with the state of Florida. There is a mechanism in the statute for transferring liability if you know who was driving your vehicle at the time of the violation. Otherwise, if it's not transferred, the liability goes with the registration and ownership of the vehicle. And so I'm going to find a violation, $158 fine, $100 administrative fee, and 30 days to pay. If you believe that legally my decision is incorrect, I'll give you the same reference that I gave to the prior gentleman, which is you have a right to contest it, and certainly can file an appeal or other documents in the circuit court in Bartow if you wish to do that.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for coming down.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
Okay, the next case.
Let's see, one more person here. Wiggers? Is that right? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, come on down.
You want me to call it up for you? You got it?
Good morning. Are you Miss Wiggers?
I am.
First photograph, citation was issued on the 18th of September 2021, 2:38 in the morning. Posted speed is 45, and her speed taken by the camera 65. Southbound US 98 north at Griffin Road. The amber light had been yellow for 5 seconds, and the red had been red for 0.8 seconds, so nearly 6 seconds from the time it turned yellow. The first photograph shows her vehicle, go to number 1. Her vehicle before the stop bar. The second one shows her proceeding through the intersection clearly on red. And the third is the tag number that's registered to her as a registered owner. And then we have the actual video. If you want to stop it right when that light turns red as well. Yep. Video clearly depicts her vehicle there behind the stop bar by at least one vehicle length. The red light is solid on red, and there again I say the posted speed was 45 and she was traveling at 65, so 20 miles an hour in excess of the posted speed.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Morning,
Good morning.
your turn.
So I was actively on the phone with the dispatcher because I was following a drunk driver all the way from the Boondocks Bar on North 98, where I live. I probably could tell you maybe a handful of times that I've been south of the highway. I don't normally go that
Wait,
way.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
I go to work at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they had not gotten an officer to me by the time I reached the highway, which is where I go to work.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let me understand a little bit. Where did you start from? Where did the issue with the drunk driver and you calling, where did that start at?
Up near the Boondocks Bar. I'm going to,
And I've heard Boondocks Bar is far north?
yes,
Okay, on 98.
yes.
Got it.
Almost to where 98 turns into 2 lanes.
Sure.
And I had called, saw him all over the road, changing lanes, almost hit the median numerous times.
And you were just driving on the road, you were driving to work when you saw him?
I was on my way to work.
Okay, where do you work?
Publix on County Line.
Okay, so you see a potential drunk driver, you start to follow the vehicle?
Well, no, I was on my way to work. I just happened to see him continuously weaving back and forth. I called and said, hey, I believe there's a drunk driver. She says, okay, don't get near him. I said, don't worry, I'm not. I had a friend that got killed by a drunk driver, so I'm very adamant about making sure people don't do this. And she says, okay, well, let me know where you are. So I kept, as we're heading south, I kept letting her know where we were. And as I'm looking for street signs, I fell behind him.
Okay.
And when it clocked me at
Is that why you're driving 65 at this point?
well, no, actually, when it clocked me at 65, I had just sped up because he was so far ahead of me that I wanted to see if he was going to turn off.
Okay.
And I believe at that point, I told her, I said, I don't know what the street is, or I got to find out what the street is. And at the time, I looked up to see what street it was, and I saw the light had already turned yellow.
Okay.
Now, if I
How far
had,
ahead is that? Well, a couple questions, I'll let you finish, but what kind of vehicle was it?
at this point, I don't know.
Okay. Is it reflected in the video? I mean, you've seen the video. Is it reflected in the video? Is that the car in front of your truck?
No, that wouldn't have been him.
Okay, so that vehicle is not in the video?
No.
Okay.
He had gotten quite a ways ahead of me because I was slowing down every time she'd say, let me know where he is. I'd have to slow down because not every street, the little street signs over to the right before I would get to a light or where there's actually street sign that I could see.
Okay. Did they ultimately, was the alleged drunk driver pulled over? Did anything
No.
happen? Okay.
No, they never-
How
they
long did
never-
you
they never got
chase
any-
the car?
I'm sorry?
How long did you pursue the car?
I made it down to,
Like miles?
yeah, all the way from the Boondocks Bar. I would have gotten off at I-4. This is south of I-4. And I think when you continue down here, isn't there a curve there, or the road turns?
Yes, ma'am. Down where Florida actually splits and goes Florida where it becomes 98, it's right there just south of Popeyes on the.
Sure.
So I believe he had already made it down that way.
Okay.
And I actually had sped up right before the light, and I knew that even if I tried to stop, I was going to end up in the middle of the intersection.
The dispatcher didn't tell you to pursue the vehicle, did they?
No, she just kept saying, hey, let me know where you are, let me know where you are, let me know where you are, so they could keep track of how far he was going in order to get somebody there to pull him over.
And so, bring me to the conclusion of that. Like, I understand everything you've said. I'm not discounting anything you've said. Do you feel like because of the actions you were taking in I'll say, monitoring or keeping an eye on a potential drunk driver while you're on the phone with a 911 dispatcher, you feel like it was okay to run the red light? Like, explain it. I'm not discounting what you're saying, but just make sure I understand what you're trying to tell me.
I didn't think it was okay to run a red light, but at the time when I looked up to see what street I was at, because I'm also trying to keep an eye on him to see if he turned off anywhere.
Okay,
By the time I saw what street I was at, I looked up and the light had already turned yellow, but I had already started to speed up to try to make sure I didn't lose him. But if I had tried to stop at that point anyways, I would have still been in the middle of the intersection. So either way, it's gonna, whether I went through it or stopped, it was gonna get my license plate, because I wouldn't have had time to stop behind the line.
okay. And there's no, as far as you know, there were no arrests made, no stop of the alleged drunk driver. You don't have like a police report or anything in your possession,
No.
or any kind of written confirmation of the 911 calls or 911 log or anything, right?
No,
Okay. Do you then went on to work?
I did.
Okay, do you have anything else to tell me?
No.
Officers, based on what she said, does the city have anything else to add or any explanation or response?
I have no way to confirm that with her now. We spoke before the hearing, and she didn't mention that to me before the hearing.
I thought I had to present it to him.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's okay.
It's something, and we go with what you think, but it's something that if we need to go back and all that's recorded, 911 is always recorded. If we needed to go back to that timestamp, that date and timestamp, we could obviously do that to confirm that she's saying that she followed a vehicle. Now, to go from Boondocks all the way to where she's at that intersection is
Several miles.
it's probably in around about 5 or 6 miles, because Boondocks is as far as you can go on 98, where it's, like she said, it goes down to 2 lanes. So,
And
and it's entirely possible that we may not even have that record now that I'm thinking about it, because if she's that far north, it's going to go to Sheriff's Office dispatch.
And the thing
So-
is I've seen numerous people drive drunk down 98 from that far up, whether they came from that bar or somewhere further north. I've called quite a few times about drunk drivers, and they never get pulled over by the time I reach the highway. And it's very
Did you
discouraging.
see the person pull out of the Boondocks?
I did not. I pulled out of my street off 98, and they were already on 98. I don't know if they came out at that point, or if that's just where I happened to meet them.
And you live out like far north, like the north part of 98? Out that
Yes.
way?
Yes.
Okay.
I live right at the street, right where it turns to 2 lanes, near the fire department and the storage place.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, I think it is a violation. You ran the red light, you were driving excessive speed. This is just my kind of thought on this. I think you're creating a potentially more dangerous situation is what worries me by driving 65 miles an hour. Although I believe what you said, and I think you were trying to, assist law enforcement or otherwise keep other people safe by keeping a potentially drunk driver off the road or reporting them to law enforcement. I am going to find a violation, impose the $158 fine. I'm really going back and forth on this. I think I will waive the administrative fee here, again, based on your testimony that you were on the phone with 911, even though you can't corroborate it with any kind of written log or anything. It's not disputed, and I'll take your word for it. So I'll waive the administrative fee, and you'll just have the $158 fine, and you'll have 30 days to pay. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hopefully you don't have to deal with any other potential drunk drivers going forward. Okay?
Every Saturday that I go to work,
All
they're
right.
out there.
I'm sorry to hear that. Please drive safely. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That's it. You're done. Have a great day. Okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. Sir, I see you're back.
I came back because I did find the statute.
What you got?
The number.
Hold on,
Well-
hold on, before we start. You gotta recall the case. If you
Sure,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
recall the
No, you're good, ma'am. You're good. Have a great day. Sorry. We'll recall your, I don't necessarily want to relitigate the discussion we've already had, but because there was an issue about the statute, we'll recall
I appreciate it.
What was your last name again, sir?
Let's
Mr. Letzinger. Mr. Letzinger, and that's notice number ends in 181350. We previously found a violation. He has, I assume, done some additional research and has a statutory cite.
Sir, you've gotta come to the microphone.
We'll have to hear you. You're doing fine.
I know we gotta handle everything by the book.
Let us know what you got.
Okay, I did, and I apologize when I came in here. I didn't, I guess, do enough due diligence to research the actual law. So, I'll have the number. They'll know the number because they're the state, but obviously you're the city, not the state. And 316.076, subsection 2A, it says if the department, county, or municipality installs a traffic infraction detector at an intersection, the department, county, or municipality shall notify the public that a traffic infraction detector device may be in use at that intersection and must specifically include notification of camera enforcement of violations concerning right turns. Such signage used to notify the public must meet the specifications for uniform signals and devices adopted by the Department of Transportation pursuant to section 3160745.
So you're citing 3160776.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Okay, subsection 2A, if the department, county, or municipality installs a traffic infraction detector at an intersection, the department, county, or municipality shall notify the public that a traffic infraction device may be in use at the intersection, must specifically include notification of camera enforcement of violations concerning right turns. Such signage used to notify the public must meet the specifications for uniform signals and devices adopted by the Department of Transportation pursuant to 3160745. This is not contained in the Mark Wandell Act, but it is a
But
separate.
074 is,
Right.
Yeah.
It is a reference to traffic signal detections and requirement of signage in a separate statute.
I'm gonna show the officers the photograph, because I see what they.
And so ultimately, it's really based on what you find as far as the evidence in the photograph, if in fact a signage did not exist at that intersection at that time.
And obviously, I know we're relying on his testimony as far as when it was taken, but it does, so this is the one he took, he says he took a couple of
We've
weeks.
got to be on
Oh.
record, like, we can't,
You can put the photo in the document camera. Place them on that logo.
right.
Will it show both or just one?
You can go back and forth.
Okay, so I'll talk into the mic.
Yeah, please.
I mean, it does, I'll ask you guys what you think. It does appear, the perspective is a little bit different, but if you look at the tree, it does look like you would see that sign, at least the signage part of it. I don't know that you would see the post, but it looks like if it was up, you should see at least part of it in front of that tree. At least that's my take on it. What does the city think?
The left picture here, let me see. Yeah, the left one here. Right
Yeah,
here.
he represented that the one on the left is the one he took a
Correct.
couple of weeks after the accident, and then the one on the right you took about when?
This would have been around Thanksgiving time,
okay.
probably after Thanksgiving.
A couple of weeks ago. Okay. And his testimony was that the sign was not up at the time of his violation, and and the second picture shows that the sign was put up at some point after that.
Who's that?
That's the scoreboard for the baseball stadium. The pictures are very similar. However, it looks like the one photograph was taken to show the sign in place. The photograph on the right. Slide that one into the camera view just a little bit, Chad. Yeah. That one looks like it was purposely taken to show the sign there.
Sure.
The other photograph, if you slide that back in there, right there, similar, that tree that you spoke of earlier, it shows it appears to me that that picture was purposely taken to show that tree as a reference, but to take opportunity not to show the sign. I've been working traffic enforcement and specifically in crash investigations for the last year in the city, and we have not had a single crash to my recollection that would have indicated that sign was damaged or taken down or damaged from a crash or any time taken down. I'm the one that typically gets emails and notifications of signage that needed to be replaced, myself and Sergeant Mumbauer. But to me, like you said before, it seems like the picture we're looking at now is purposeful in cutting off the sign because you can clearly see the tree on the far right of the photograph. Mm-hmm. And then the other photograph, slide that one back in. It's the other one to the right. Yeah. That one's purposefully taken to show the sign there. That's my only
And
point with
is it your
photographs.
understanding, officer, that there's been a sign posted since we've implemented the program? I mean, I know this is
Right, since that, I wasn't there when they were first implemented in the traffic unit per se, but I have been in the city since '01, so I was there from the inception of these. And it's something that we look at because, oftentimes we will do traffic enforcement at these intersections to issue a citation, actual UTC, to a driver, as opposed to a red light camera. Like I said, I'm not debating these pictures. The sign is clearly there in the one picture and it's not there in the other. I'm just saying that it appears to me that the second photograph was taken to clearly omit.
But do you think the second
sign.
picture could be taken at an angle where it cuts off the sign itself? It seems like it'd be difficult to do that from where it's taken.
Well, my question is, I'm gonna take a look at the backdrop of this one.
Sure.
And how far apart were these taken?
He said the one that shows the sign was around or just after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and the one that didn't was a couple of weeks after his violation, correct?
The bird here or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you see this right here?
That's the scoreboard, stadium scoreboard that was erected by Florida Southern.
And it's not in this one.
Well, it's over to the,
It's over to the left
I
further.
think I see it to the left, right?
This
Kind of
one?
behind
Yeah.
the
Right.
tree. Clearly, it's a different, the angle is different. I don't
correct.
It is,
dispute that.
it is a different angle, and also, but if you also notice on the two pictures, one is zoomed in and one is not. So this would actually show more distance, this one does, than the other one. The
But
other
that
one's
picture
zoomed in
doesn't,
to
it
show
shows
some-
more
One at a time,
distance.
one at a time.
I get you.
It shows more distance looking, the way that picture is taken, it's facing directly north. We all agree with that.
Right, yeah, we're both
Okay.
facing the same way, but the angle of where it's
Correct.
taken is off. Obviously, I was in my vehicle at a red light taking
Correct.
the picture, so I couldn't line up exactly, and I'm
Right.
sorry, I should have gotten out, but I didn't
You
want to.
should have gotten out as well, because that in itself presents a problem.
Let me ask a question, though. It is your testimony, having sworn to tell the truth, you're under oath today. Your testimony is, at the time you took the photograph that does not depict the sign, you are testifying under oath that there was no sign at that time. Is that correct?
110%, yes, sir. Like I said, I go through the city a couple times a week. I mean, I know the city cops patrol the city all the time. I go through a couple times a week working, and that sign was not there. I even saw, I mean, there was like dirt at the bottom of the sign when I took that picture, like sand, like it looked like it was new. And that's what made it stand out to me, because you asked me
that
before,
second
had I
photograph?
seen it if I knew. I mean, like it stood out to me when I saw it this time. Because I did, anyways, I walked the whole intersection, both sides, actually, right after it first happened.
Okay.
That is, that photograph you were just depicting, you said there was dirt around that. That looks to me like
You can't
dried
see it there.
concrete.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because it's not in the dirt in the flour. It's actually
No,
in
it's
the
like
concrete.
sand. I don't know if there's something kicked up around it. I couldn't tell. And that picture's not gonna obviously show.
I just feel like the photographs were clearly taken from different angles. And
Yeah.
my opinion of the citation as well, that if I were on patrol that day and I had seen that violation, I absolutely would have written him a citation for running the red light, an actual UTC. Because
Yeah,
it was,
and I don't think there's any, and he admits to violating it.
Correct.
The
sign.
question is a technical failure if evidence of failure to comply with a requirement in the statute, does it mandate dismissal? And, that's the debate I'm having right now. And again, the city doesn't have any information one way or the other about whether the sign was ever down, other than there's no affirmative information that the sign was down or crashed into or anything like that.
correct.
We don't-
I can tell you with 100% certain that I have, in the last year since February when I was assigned to the crash investigation unit, I've not received any correspondence from anybody about a crash involving that sign being damaged or dropped down or ran over to where it needed to be replaced or repaired. But I obviously, I've commented on the photographs as well.
Am I allowed to make a comment?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, well, I think there's enough doubt based on the two pictures. Unless the city, I'm inclined to change the decision to a dismissal for failure to comply with the statute, unless the city wants to continue this and look into the status of the sign or figure out if there was any kind of accident or construction or sign construction or anything done regarding the sign. So if the city wants to continue it to consider that and reschedule the hearing, we can do that. Otherwise, I'm going to be inclined to dismiss it. So I'll let the city tell me what they want to do.
We can take the opportunity to do that, because I think that I can contact Tom Horak and Brad Drescher,
Okay.
and I'll be able to find out the information about the sign.
When it was installed and all.
Oh, I'll know when it was installed, yes.
Okay.
If it was knocked down, or anything like that, I'll be able to look.
There'll be a
And
record.
you'll
of
be
it.
able to find out when it was installed?
That's 2009.
And whether it was gone, okay.
So what we'll do is then we're going to continue today's hearing. It's not being decided at all, and he'll get a new notice with a new hearing date then? Is that how that'll work?
Brianna?
There's even, and I'm just looking at it again, there's a different angle.
I can reschedule it, yes,
Okay.
to answer your question.
And then in the interim, if the officers find that the sign was down, or find other evidence, they can just go ahead and
Sure, dismiss it without necessity of a
without
further
having to
hearing.
come back.
There's such a different angle too, and I'm looking at the picture again, I'm just analyzing it again. If you look through the photograph on the left, okay, you look straight forward, look at that tree that we've been referencing.
A different perspective, sure.
Right, yeah, because you have the garbage disposal unit up there, which is at Salem's, the orange door, which is their access to their garbage can. And then you look at the photograph on the right, you're seeing the right leading edge of the tree in the foreground of you can see the different angle.
Sure.
It's such a different angle, I don't know.
So let's, there's nothing's dismissed, we're gonna continue this, the city's gonna look into it. If they determine that the sign was down or there's no affirmative evidence, then they can decide to dismiss it if they want to. Otherwise, there will be a new hearing date scheduled and he'll get a new notice in the mail, is that right?
Yes, and are we rescheduling for the January hearing?
Is that enough time, or should we go to February, as far as you guys?
I will call Tom and Bear Mobility when I get back to the office, and I'll be able to know.
So January should be okay?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna reschedule for January. Do we know what date that'll be? It's usually the second Wednesday.
The second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday of January is what it'll be. You'll get a notice. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for the information. We'll see what comes of it.
In January, so that, the 29th is December 29th, so that'd actually be the 12th
That sounds right to me.
That sounds right to me.
at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then unless it gets
And I'll
dismissed.
also get something in the mail beforehand to remind me. All right.
You should get a notice of hearing.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I reschedule it today, it'll send out a new notice of hearing.
Okay, Mr. Letchester?
Thank you so much.
See you next time. Sure. Okay, there were two where somebody didn't show up, is that right?
Treywick, and I've got Racine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's do Racine first.
204.
Thanks, guys. And I want you guys to know I'm not trying to discount anything you do or anything like that.
Don't worry, nobody takes it personally, man.
It's a good question.
I know I work a lot with officers. I also work with the state of Florida. Anyway.
No issues. Have a good day.
Which one we going to?
Racine, the last five.
I'm gonna take those. Are you gonna hold on to the photographs, just so somebody?
I can take, it's up to you.
You're welcome to, as long as they're maintained somewhere.
Okay.
We'll give them to him.
Okay.
Let's turn. We don't lose them.
Who?
Last four on this one is 99204.
You want me to keep them? Sure. No problem.
I think those need to be uploaded into the pictures as
Okay.
evidence in the.
What is
Can
the
they be
number?
associated with that?
Racine,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Or
give you.
A or what?
And then I'll,
say again?
Spell it? Or,
RACINE.
What you can do if you.
oh, the yellow.
That's a right.
Into the system. Can you email me those copies to me when you do that? Okay, that's.
See what his contingency is.
We gotta get that, the control to put the camera back up on there. Or to control the computer back up to the screen. I don't know how to do that.
There we go.
Very right, good.
What happened? Oh, there it is.
You're back, yeah. This appears to be a right turn violation.
Just for the record, we're 99204 Racine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the first one shows, or the citation was issued on the 20th of September at 5:04 PM, West westbound East Daughtry Road at Walt Loop Road at Socrum. Posted speed's 40. Their actual traveling speed through the intersection, they're making a right-hand turn was 20. Yellow light was yellow for 4.9 and red was red for 0.7. And the first video shows them, previous to the stop bar. The second one shows them going through the intersection on red. And the third one confirms the tag number and to the registered owner where the citation was mailed. And then the video will stop the video prior to them entering. this person didn't come, so we didn't have an opportunity to go to summary on this one. I would say this would probably be dismissed based on safe and prudent. There's no traffic around, there's no pedestrians, there's no bicyclists or anything like that, but I don't know because they didn't show up and view this
Well, that's,
before.
I mean, let's make sure we establish that. So the city is going, I assume is going forward with it. I mean, if the city's deciding to dismiss it, then you guys can tell me that. Otherwise, I'm looking at the evidence and I'll make a decision. So tell me which we're doing. We can't do summary disposition because the person's not here.
Correct, so we can just dismiss it then
Okay, so the city's gonna dismiss that one. Okay, done.
I feel like it's safe and prudent. So.
Okay, well then, that's easy. And then, Traywick? 84644?
Again, this gentleman did not show up, so. We can review this one as well on our end. This also appears to be a right turn.
Hold on, we don't see it yet.
This is the one that I had some heartache with.
184644.
Okay, get back to the stills. Okay, the stills show the event occurred on the 1st of September, 6:23 p.m. Florida Avenue Memorial, it's going to be a right turn. Posted speed is 40. He went through the intersection at 18. The light had been red. I'm sorry, the light had been yellow for 4.5, had been red for 7.2. Number one photograph shows his vehicle clearly behind the stop bar. Number two shows him proceeding through the red light. And number three confirms the tag on the vehicle as to the registered owner of the vehicle. And then the video, if we can pull the video up and we can see why the issuance of the citation. A couple things in that photograph, and I would argue safe and prudent based on the fact that the roadway is clearly wet. Either it's still raining or it had just been raining. And if you watch the vehicle as he's proceeding through the traffic that's coming southbound, has now received a green light to proceed south and to turn east. And, you know, with him coming through at 18 miles an hour on a wet road, I just don't feel that that's safe and prudent. I believe he had opportunity to stop and just did not take that opportunity to stop. I think he actually accelerated through that turn to beat that traffic.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a violation, $158 fine, $100 administrative fee, 30 days to pay. I just failed to write down, on Wiggers, was that did we find a violation or summary?
It was 30 days and it was 0 admin fee.
Okay, yep, got
That
it.
was the lady with the DUI.
Got it. Okay, so that covers all the contested hearings, I think. So now I'll read the last 6 of the notice number along with the last name for all the folks that elected summary disposition, and that means they will have a $158 fine, a $12.50 administrative fee, and 60 days to pay.
And then after you do that, you may just want to delineate the ones that were dismissed as well as a separate, because we had a number of those.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem. Summary dispositions 175873 Altuchoff, 176293 Altuchoff, 181301 Anderson, 182333 Barrios, 181566 Bean Aim, 183067 Blair Brown, 185542 Blevins, 176285 Boatwright, 194346 Broughton, 175717 Browning, 189635 Campbell, 186227 Carrizales, 186607 Carswell, 177580 Chadwick, 175501 Davis, 182630 Delara Moreno, 197067 Everett. It's okay. 209649 Ewer, 186243 Faison, 181814 Fisher, 181-798 Goforth, 185-971 Gonzalez, 179-867 Green, 196-358 Hall, 189-791 Hall, 182-135 Hammond, 180-493 Harvin, 189-494 Henderson, 177-341 Himes, 187-100 Himes, 194-874 Johnson, 212-940 Lewis, 188-488 Lewis, 183-554 Lim, 174-645 Maggi, 179-982 McCormick, 185-575 McCoy, 187-928 McCray, 188-447 McCray, 185-203 McCreary, 182-424 McKinsey, 190-450 Mendoza, 190-765 Miller, 183-984 Monday, 177-101 Pagan Gonzalez, 191-086 Page, 175-907 Polius, 175-600 Payne, 173-019 Prather, 195-699 Purdy, 171-096 Ramirez, 177-978 Reed, 195-160 Rendon Gonzalez, 186-870 Rice, 183-745 Roberts, 187-274 Roush, 188-991 Shackelford, 177-556 Shackelford, 208-104 Slater, 218-343 Slater, 177-127 Smith, 169-579 Sobers, 196-788 Thornton, 192-340 Torres Hernandez, 182-663 Torres Santana, 180-725 Virgil, 185-005 Williams, 177-051 Williams, 207-130 Wilson, 206-470 Wright. That's all the summary dispositions, and for the record, the dismissals were 190-963 Barrios, 160-008 Carson, 173-175 Lachak, 197-281 Marrero, 199-204 Racine, 133-310 Star, and I think that covers the dismissals, right? Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Sure.